Hey, what's going on, comic fans? It's Mr. Q Comics back with some more show and tell. Okay, again, we are finishing up our 2022 backlog of haul videos. I've got, again, a mix of stuff I picked up from a local hobby shop, some eBay wins, and my local antique store that I've been pretty much shopping at every week now. So before we dive in, do me a favor, go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let me know what you think about the books I picked up. So, all right, again, doing a small stack here, hopefully be only about 10 minutes or so. Super old books I picked up that I just haven't gotten around to showing off. So we're going to start with a few books I picked up. This is a local gaming shop I've mentioned before. So occasionally I can find some new stuff, occasionally put some new stuff out or new collections come in. He really focuses mostly on gaming. So I pop in there every couple of months and see what I can find. First thing I grabbed from him, this was just a J. Scott Campbell cover I had never seen. It's Daredevil #2. Again, just a cool J. Scott Campbell cover I grabbed for my Campbell collection. I probably overpaid on this. I think it was $9, but it's a really nice copy. I'm sure you can find one cheaper than that if you are patient. It's not a key or anything. I just like collecting Campbell covers, so I'd never seen it, so I was happy to grab that. Couple of spec books here I had picked out. He had the cover A, I think I got, a year or two ago, and this book has seemed to have heated up in the past year or so. I don't know if there's talk about this character, but just has not made an appearance in the MCU projects yet. So we've got all new Ghost Rider #1. This is the Del Mundo animal variant. So we had two copies of this, both really nice condition. So I grabbed them both. I think these are about $9 near mint range. Probably right now, raw. I think I see it selling $30 or so as of the time of this video. And he had the Scotty Young variant as well. I am personally not a huge fan of Scotty Young. That's probably, I don't know, might be an unpopular opinion for some. I am not a huge fan of these baby variants, but this one not in as good a shape, and it was about $14. So still, I think this is like a $30-$40 book. It's a couple like ratio variants for this series that are worth some big money, but he never seems to have ratio variants in there. So those books are just spec for me. All right, we've got a stat. This is a couple different trips. I hit up this local antique shop, and at the time, this older gentleman that I've mentioned in the past had been bringing in new stuff like every week or so. So I was checking him frequently. I managed to find a book at one of the other dealers, which is a rarity. But we got a copy of Daredevil #27. Very cool yellow background. This is just a Spidey crossover. I've got a copy, but mine is in rough shape. So this was a slight upgrade for me. This is like $30. Probably not the best price on that. It's got a little bit of water staining. So still a nice upgrade for my collection. Okay, so we got a copy of Spider-Woman #1. This is the origin and the debut of the new costume for Jessica Drew. It's from 1978 and a Joe Sinnott cover. So I think the guy had like a whole stack in a case. It was just all issue #1. So this was $15, probably in the VF range. So I was happy to grab another copy of that. A copy of Giant Size Chillers #1. First appearance of Lilith, Dracula's daughter. This is a cool John Romita cover from 1974. This one, I didn't write down the condition, but it's probably mid-grade. I think it was like $30, something like that. I don't recall what this is going for right now. I think at one point it did spike a bit, so I don't know what's going on with this. Everything kind of Bronze Age horror for Marvel seems to be hot over the past couple of years, ever since the announcement of the Blade project, whenever that's going to actually come out. But still, cool Bronze Age key there. This was just a book from my PC. Really weird cover. We got Black Magic #1 from Simon and Kirby. The cover is, I'm going to butcher his name, Jerry Grandinetti. It's from 1973. Nice higher mid-grade, probably fine, very fine range. He had this for $18, and I thought it was just a, goofy DC Bronze Age horror, so I picked that up for my collection. And then finally, a book that I had and got rid of, and I kind of hemmed and hawed. I think I overpaid for this one, but I had sold off my copy. This is Monster of Frankenstein #1. Awesome Mike Plougard. Some of the best, Bronze Age covers in my opinion, from Marvel. He did an amazing job with these covers. So this is the first appearance of Frankenstein in comics from 1973, probably VG range, and I think he had it like, I think it worked out to like $48, which, you know, I think at the time, again, I bought it, these were going for a lot higher prices, but the market has, it's been a couple months, so now we're into the end of December 2022, and the market has really started to slow on a lot of these books. So anyways, I had sold off my copy, so at the time, this was a pretty decent price anyways. All right, last few books. So this was a cool book I had never seen before. It is Tales from the Tomb, #1. I believe this is just a one-shot. This is a Dell Giant from, let's see, 1962. Cool painted cover by John Schoner. I'm probably butchering that. You know, it's got some chipping and creasing. It's probably in the good range, but it was only $15. I had never seen this. I thought the cover was awesome. I'm so used to Dell having all the Western and the cartoon animals, you know, and the Disney stuff and the Sylvester and Tweety, that type of stuff. So very cool book. I had no idea what it was, but for the price, I thought it was super neat. So I snagged it. And then some amazing, he had these two books, I think on the same day I went in there. And the first one is just an Atlas pre-code book. I just thought it was a gorgeous cover. It's a little bit beat up on the edges, chipping, but the colors absolutely pop. And I love the artwork on this. This is Suspense, #19, VG range. This is from Russ Heath, 1952. I absolutely think this cover is just gorgeous. I love the shadowing going on. This was $72, which I thought was a great price for a pre-code Atlas book. Just a beautiful book. Love the colors on it. And finally, he had this in his stack of #1s. Definitely the pickup of you know, the day at the store. I couldn't believe he had this in there. He had a copy of the first appearance months before that I passed on. That probably was actually a good pass in hindsight because the book has gone down quite a bit. But he had put in a copy of Ghost Rider #1. Obviously, this is the first solo title. We've got the first appearance of Damon Hellstrom and cameo. This is from 1972. Gil Kane and Joe Sinnott cover. This is probably a nice mid-grade book, and after this guy always gives a discount if you pay cash, so you get like 20% off, and he always lists his stuff super high, but it's $160, which I thought was a great price. Again, I had passed on the Marvel Spotlight 5 that he had in there months before, but I think it was like $700-800, something like that. It was probably in the VG range, so super happy he had that. I've never owned a copy of this book. The cover is gorgeous, so glad that I was able to pick that up. And finally, last two books. These are a couple of eBay, I think these were best offers, and I think I bought them both together. A couple of just awesome pre-code books that I've been wanting. We first have a copy of Tales from the Crypt, #44. Nice copy. It's got a date stamp up here. Obviously, it's got the chunk missing. Just a great Jack Davis cover from 1954, probably in the VG range. Jack Davis is, to me, the best covers on EC. I absolutely love them. I don't know what it is. He's almost got a cartoony look to it. This is just a great, you know, guy getting decapitated by a guillotine cover. He's always got this weird, I don't know how to explain it. It has that look like it's slightly cartoonish, but it's always such morbid subject material. So super cool cover there. And I got these both from the same seller. He gave me a deal on both books. Was able to pick up a copy of this awesome cover, Haunt of Fear, #17. This is just that classic Graham Ingalls zombie cover. This is from 1953. This isn't in as good a shape. It's probably in the good, very good range. Together, I think they were a little over $800. So I think it was about worked out to like $510 on this, which pretty good price. It was tough to find comparables. I think, you know, the GP analysis, GP sales I was looking at, the last copy was like a 3.5, and it sold for something like $700 in June or something like that. So I thought it was a pretty good price. It was a lot cheaper than anyone else was selling it for at the time. So again, just a phenomenal cover. I've always wanted in my collection. I'm not the biggest fan of the Graham Ingles covers for the EC Comics, but this is certainly a classic. So very, very happy to add both of those to the PC. So that is it for the haul, guys. Again, if you're a fan of haul videos, please go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let me know what you think. Talk to you soon.